see that back there. If you can, that's my dad and my daughter sitting on a swing on the front porch, just chatting away. And I'm out here, and I'm supposed to be writing a devotional, but I keep seeing Grandpa and his granddaughter just talking away, enjoying time together. And I feel like that's a more important moment, really, than writing my devotional. It's interesting because I was reading this morning from Exodus 3, the story of the burning bush. So I want to read a few of those verses to you right now. Moses was keeping the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian, and he led his flock beyond the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of a bush. He looked, and the bush was blazing, yet it was not consumed. Then Moses said, I must turn aside and look at this great sight and see why the bush is not burned up. When the Lord saw that he had turned aside to see, God called him out of the bush, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Then a little bit later it says this. The Lord said, I have observed the misery of my people who are in Egypt. I have heard their cry on account of their taskmasters. Indeed, I know their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them from the Egyptians, to bring them up out of that land to a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey, to the country of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. The cry of the Israelites has now come to me. I have also seen how the Egyptians oppressed them. So come, I will send you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? And God said, I will be with you. The part that really drew me in today was where Moses said, I must turn aside and look at this great sight. See, he had already seen it. This flame appeared in the bush, and it says he looked, and the bush was ablaze, but it wasn't consumed. And then he said, I must turn aside and look at this great sight. There's a lot of things around us that we notice, but sometimes we fail to look and examine. What I love about verse 4 is it says, when the Lord saw that he had turned aside to see, God called him out of the bush. Moses, Moses. I feel like we settle sometimes for the quick glance. Our Christian life is sometimes not much more than a cursory look in God's direction as we go about our day. I could have sat down and just typed out this devotional and just taken a cursory look over at my dad and my daughter. But something drew me in, and it's the same with our Christian life. God is calling us closer. God wants us to turn aside and examine him. We are called to more than just a cursory look at our Creator, at our Father, at the Son, at the Spirit. We're called to examine, to turn our whole lives and start there. Do you know what I mean? So today, and this week, I encourage you to turn aside from what you're doing and examine God in a new way. All the things you're doing, I'm sure, are important and are necessary. And Moses, he was keeping the sheep. He had a job to do. But God called him, and he turned aside to see what God was saying. And that's my challenge. Turn aside. What is God calling you to do? Have a great day. And I'm going to go over onto the front porch and hang out with my dad and daughter. Bye.